So, I want to talk about conscious love and how you experience it. And I think this is so important because what I see happening is people are always trying to get love instead of already being loved. So, they're trying to get love instead of being loved. You see, there's a massive difference between these two things. See, when you're trying to get love, you're climbing towards something that's outside of you. And you're thinking, when they do this, then I'll feel love. When I look like that, then I'll be worthy of love. When I finally meet the right person, then I'll experience real love. What you're doing is you are unconsciously living in the realm of the when then model of reality. So the when then model of reality looks like that. When I finally meet the right person, then I'll experience real love. But what you're doing is judging after your senses. You're judging after what you see in your current reality. And if you keep judging after your senses, what you judge is what you'll get. And you'll keep getting the sense world. You'll keep living in the world perceived by the senses. This 3D reality. You'll keep getting the limitation that you see instead of expanding yourself to identifying with your imagination. If you identify yourself with the flesh is limited. The flesh cannot fly. But if you identify yourself with the inner man, with the man living in the realm of your imagination, you are free. You are boundless. And I challenge you to go to the end, to see the one inside of you who is already loved, who is already cherished, who is already seen. Deprogramming yourself from that when then model of reality. And whenever I talk about this, many friends will see this as supernatural. And I say it's not. It's nothing crazy. It's simply identifying yourself with the one inside of yourself. You identify yourself with the one who already experiences conscious love. The one who already feels adored. The one who already knows their worth. How would that feel like? And whenever I say concepts like this, people think that, am I going to pretend? And the word pretend means there's something that you consider as real because you have to pretend. So what you consider as real is the 3D reality. And I dare you to change your beliefs around this and I start to identify yourself with the inner man. Now, what does that mean practically? It means you go to the end. And the end is you already experience the love you desire. I mean, the only reason why you cannot feel that love is because you're limiting yourself that something needs to happen in the 3D reality when you can just simply close your eyes and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And that's what Neville teaches. What does it feel to be truly seen? And know that your I am is your power. That's God's name is I am. And if you need the power to experience this love, well, I am is that power. So you change your I am. And you don't change it by hoping or wishing or waiting for someone to be there to finally love you in the right way. You change your I am by going to the end. And the end is you already being loved. Let me give you an example. So, let's say you want to experience a partner who truly sees you, who loves you consciously, who shows up present and attentive, and most people will imagine it and then in their heart feel fear. I have worked with so many clients that in their heart they want to be loved, they want to be in a relationship, but whenever I ask them to imagine what would that feels like. It's new to them. And when something is new for us, we get scared, fearful. And that's the reason why we self sabotage things. Because to be in the same state is way comfortable than changing the inner state, changing the assumption. That fear that they might not change, fear that you might not meet them, fear that what if it doesn't work. And all these fears come up. All these questions are all from the voice of fear. I want you to silence that voice. I want you to see yourself already experiencing that love. Your goal is to see it already. If imagining creates reality, then you must imagine successfully. And to imagine successfully, to imagine success is to imagine the outcome already being accomplished, the desire already being fulfilled. That is the way you should imagine. So, you want to already feel love now. You want to already feel seen now. You want to already feel cherished now. It doesn't cost you anything. I'll tell you something. I've heard so many people say things like, of course, the kind of love I want doesn't exist. Or, of course, people don't show up like that. And I know that feeling. I've felt that way about things in my life. But the day will come when you realize you have to change that script. You're going to have to realize that that life is not against you. That love is not against you. For so many years, I stayed in a state of feeling like a victim of life. And I become a victim. I really truly was. I felt sorry for myself, and then I really was sorry for myself. You become the thing you contemplate yourself on. And if you keep feeling like, of course, the love I want isn't here, if you keep feeling like that, you will keep creating from that because that's what you're giving your attention to inside yourself. So, indifference becomes a tool. You have to be indifferent to the current state. If you're in a relationship that doesn't feel conscious, or if you're single and feeling unloved, you have to see that it doesn't stop you. It's simply part of your own creation. At one point, you might have believed you weren't worthy of deep love. You might have been convinced by your senses, by past experiences, that you are not the one who receives conscious love. But I have to eventually stop judging after my senses. Neville said you might have a friend call you and tell you the opposite news. They say they didn't change, or they say you're never going to find that kind of love. Neville said he would simply get off that phone and imagine hearing that it did work. So, you go to the end. You keep forgiving it over and over, again and again, and that's how you apply it to yourself. When you change your conception to something more lovely towards yourself, when you shape your I am with pressures of love, imagine you're molding a pot of clay and you apply pressure with your hands. When you apply the pressure of love onto yourself, you'll start to mold your I am into a more lovely image. We're truly we're truly image making here. That's what Neville called this, a school of image making. So, practice every single day to change the images of yourself into something you love. Don't leave yourself in want. Don't leave yourself feeling unloved. Pick yourself up and move yourself into a better state. Imagine yourself already experiencing the love you desire. See it and hear it. Feel what conscious love feels like in your body right now. Right now. Because in the beginning, you go to the end. The end is already being loved. That is the secret in changing yourself from the inside out. On the inside, you go to the ends. Inside of yourself, you don't meddle with the middle. And that is how you'll have your imagination run smoothly. You'll see how much more free it is if you just see yourself already experiencing conscious love. Put yourself in that state of mind regardless of where you're at right now. Just put yourself in that space, in that realm of imagination. Don't judge after the sense world, judge after imagination. Then you'll start to see that you're becoming more free. You'll start to free yourself because you can create anything in imagination. You create by having faith in the already being so. You don't try to be loved, you already are loved. You don't hope someone will finally see you, you already are seen. And if you have a lot of anxiety about this, then you're not imagining it already being the case. If you're hoping that someday you'll experience conscious love, then you're not really imagining it already being fulfilled. And that's how we create. We create by going to the ends. In the beginning, we create our ends. Your end is your I amness. So you change your I amness. The self is always remaining the same. But the self is in different states of mind. So if you hate the state you're in right now, if you feel unloved, if you feel unseen, if you feel unappreciated, know that it's a state. Don't identify yourself with it more than that. Because then you'll start to think you can't change it. You have to see it as a state of mind that comes with a set of behavior. And events unfold from that state. Events don't happen to us. Events unfold from our states of mind. See it as a state of mind that is complete. And grant yourself the ability to move into a different state of mind. And it can happen in an instant. It doesn't have to be something really hard. The desire you want to be loved consciously, that is also a state of mind. Go to it already being fulfilled. The inner self doesn't look for love inside. Do you see how in this world we have to search for it? We have to date. We have to hope. We have to wonder if they'll change. But inside, the love is already provided. Inside, you're already the one who experiences conscious love. And you have to identify yourself with that being instead of the one that is with the senses. Judge after your inner eyes. And I know this will help you because it eliminates that fear. It neutralizes that anxiety of trying to get love and hoping it works out. You go to the end. And the end is already being loved. So your outer ears might heard bad news. Maybe they don't show up the way you want. Maybe you're still single. Maybe you're feeling alone. Maybe you go to your inward ears and you change it to a good news. You go to the inward ears despite of what's going on. You hear the good news from within. You feel the love from within. And then you put your trust in it. Because you will put your trust into something. So, put your trust into the immortal ears and to the divine eyes. And if you apply this, you'll remove the friction from the inside. Just hear and see yourself already experiencing conscious love. Just hear and see it. Don't do anything else. Just hear and see it.